Let's be real. This has been one of the hardest weeks to be a Ravens fan in the last probably decade. It just seems like it's bad news after bad news after bad news. The good thing is today we finally have some good news in our new Lamar Jackson injury update from NFL's insider Ian Rapoport. I'm going to tell you what that is in just a couple of seconds. Before that, though, make sure you guys are subscribed, and I need you guys today because we're 5 subs away from 38,000 subscribers. Who's going to be the ones to push us over that milestone? Our biggest yet in channel history. We're growing like crazy, and we're going to keep growing like crazy if you guys keep subscribing. It's free. It doesn't cost you a dime. And in return, you get daily videos every single day on your Baltimore Ravens. Yesterday was, in a word, depressing. Yesterday was a bad day. Not only are you 1-3, not only did you get the injury updates on Roquan Smith, Marlon Humphrey, Nnamdi Madubuike, and then yesterday added a little bit of salt to the wound when the Baltimore Sun released a statement saying that the Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson could be out up to 2 to 3 weeks and is likely to miss Sunday's game against the visiting Houston Texans with a hamstring injury. Two sources with direct knowledge of the situation confirmed that to the Baltimore Sun on Tuesday. But today, Ian Rapoport gave us a little bit of hope, a little bit of a ray of sunshine, a little bit of something to cling on to have some positivity going into Sunday and honestly for the rest of this season. He went on NFL Network and says he could miss 2 to 3 weeks. I'm not sure where that comes from. I would say it's more week to week now for Lamar Jackson. He's going to try to play this week. This is phenomenal news. It's phenomenal news. And I'm not just saying in the fact that he's going to try to play Sunday against Houston. I'll get to my opinion on that in a couple of seconds. But just the fact that instead of 2 to 3 weeks, that it's week to week is great. Okay? I still feel like this week against the Texans is probably still in doubt. Like, I would be surprised if he played against Houston. In fact, I don't even know if it's the smartest thing for him to play against Houston. More on that coming up in just a second. But you look forward and you look at week 6 and you look to that Rams game. Yeah, it's at home, but that Rams team is tough, man. They got a good quarterback. Matthew Stafford, second in the league in passing yards. They got a good receiver room. Puka Nacua, Devontae Adams. They got a good pass rush. They're going to be able to put up points on you. They're going to be able to get to the quarterback as well. That's a tough team to beat. I think that you can beat Houston with Cooper Rush. Houston's not that great. They've struggled out of the gate so far this season, and you have as well, but it's a different kind of struggle. I think Cooper Rush can be enough of a game manager, and you've got enough good weapons around him that you can beat the Texans. Beating Los Angeles with Cooper Rush, that's going to be incredibly difficult. Not only do they have a really good team, not only can they put up a ton of points, but you're also going to play them when they're on 11 days rest. They've got basically a mini bye week because they're playing on Thursday Night Football this week. If Baltimore can get to the bye week 2-4, I'll be happy. Now, did I ever think I was going to say that sentence a couple of months ago? No. In fact, I'm shocked and almost disgusted at myself for saying that. But if you go in to the bye week, whether Lamar Jackson plays against Houston, or he plays against Los Angeles, or he plays both, or he misses both, if you can go into the bye 2-4, I think I'll be satisfied. Do you want Lamar back to 100% health? If you do, hit that thumbs up button and like today's video. Imagine one of your likes is like a little bit of a blip on his health progress bar like it's a video game. I need to get that thing up to 100%. You need to like the video. So far in 2025, it's been a phenomenal year for Lamar Jackson. 71.6% completion percentage, 869 yards, 10 touchdowns. The stats are there, but it's also realistic if you've watched it. It hasn't been the perfect year for him. There's times where he's taken sacks I don't think he should have. There's times where I would rather have him just checked it down, thrown the ball away or something like that. He tries to make a play with his legs. And usually over the last couple of years where we see him pull off some Houdini magic, get out of the pocket, get 20 to 30 yards on a first down. That necessarily hasn't been the case this season. Regardless, though, he's still putting up great numbers. And we all know that this team goes how he goes. If this team wins the Super Bowl, it's on the back of Lamar Jackson. If this team doesn't win a Super Bowl, it is in part because of Lamar Jackson. My biggest worry with the possibility of him being out, though, is this defense. Like, I feel like in 2023, Lamar Jackson could have missed 5 games, and this team still probably could have won 4 of those, depending on who they were against. But with this Ravens defense, the way it is, without having the threat of Lamar Jackson in there at quarterback as a guy who can put up yards, put up points, score touchdowns, this defense I have absolutely zero faith in. And you can see they're ranked pretty much bottom 5, bottom 2 in every single statistic on the defensive side of the football. And I need you to remember, Lamar Jackson had a 141.8 passer rating with 10 total touchdowns and 0 turnovers for the first 3 games this season, and yet this team was still 1-2. The Ravens scored 111 points first 3 games this season. The most ever through 3 games by a team with a losing record in NFL history. Now, I tell you that to remind you that even if he is playing and even if he is scoring, this team hasn't been able to win games. So it's hard for me to see Cooper Rush and put 100% of faith in him to win football games, even though he did it with Dallas, because this defense has been what's letting this team down so far in 2024. And you're also going to throw a defense out there that's extremely banged up. Now, whether he plays or not, I still think Derrick Henry is the key, okay? Whether he plays, I think you want to limit Lamar as much as you can. Give the ball to Derrick Henry. If he doesn't play, you need to use him as much. I want 40 carries for Derrick Henry if Cooper Rush is in the ballgame. I'm not, that's not even an embellishment. I'm not even being dramatic. I'm not speaking hyperbolically. I literally want him to carry the football 40 times. Because the Tennessee Titans made it to an AFC championship game with Ryan Tannehill as their quarterback. Derrick Henry has carried the team before, and now it's time for him to step up and do that again, whether Lamar Jackson's playing or not. Because we know if he is, he's not going to be 100% fully healthy. Vegas time, make a wager for me. I'm setting the over-under 114.5 rush yards for Henry against Houston. That, honestly, might be even a little bit low. You let me know, under or over, in the comment section down below. I got to tell you guys, before we get to the rest of our content, about an awesome, awesome deal with our friends at PrizePicks. If you download the app right now and use our code CLNS, you get $50 in lineups. $50 in lineups. All you got to do is just play a $5 lineup. You and I make decisions every day, but the cool thing is, being right on PrizePicks can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this season on PrizePicks, where it's good to be right. PrizePicks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. Want to pick the more on Dak Prescott, pass yards, rush yards, and touchdowns? Now you can pick all of them in the same lineup, only on PrizePicks. Follow other PrizePicks players directly on the app. Copy their lineups in one click, whether it's a friend, a celebrity partner, or just someone whose picks you like. Hit the follow button and check out every lineup they create in the new feed tab on PrizePicks. Here's my PrizePicks for Thursday Night Football. We got the battle of the West Coast California teams, Rams, Niners. Give me the more on Devontae Adams, half a receiving touchdown. Matthew Stafford's been dealing lately. I think that continues. Give me the more on 233.5 pass yards. Christian McCaffrey, I'm feeling a little spicy. Give me the less, 48.5 receiving yards. Download PrizePicks app today. Use code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code CLNS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. The link to this promo is in the comments and description of today's video. PrizePicks, it's good to be right. Now, this Texans team, like I said before, it's beatable. The reason it's beatable is because their offense has not been able to put up points. It feels like, they say an unstoppable force meets an immovable object. I feel like with the Texans offense against the Ravens defense, it's like a stoppable force meets a movable object. Because very similar to Baltimore, on the offensive side of the ball, they're ranked pretty much bottom 10, bottom 7 in every single statistic when it comes to yards per game, points per game, touchdowns, and expected points added per play. Plain and simple. I said it yesterday afternoon. I'm going to say it here again. Zach Orr and the defense, they have to step up. They have to step up. There's no way you win this football game with the defense playing like they've been playing. I need to see something new. I don't know what that is. That's not my job to figure it out. That's Zach Orr's job to figure it out. And it's going to be tough. I never said it's going to be easy. You got 6 defensive starters that aren't going to be playing in this game. Kyle Van Noy, Marlon Humphrey, Roquan Smith, Nnamdi Madubuike, all 4 of those guys guaranteed to not be playing. Broderick Washington, he's still to be determined, but he didn't play. Travis Jones, he's to be determined, but he didn't play. You got a lot of things you're going through. Guess what? The football season's underway. Time's not going to stop. It does not care. The National Football League does not care. It marches on. Win football games. Somebody needs to step up, make a play, make a sack, force a turnover. You got to win these games. So if I'm John Harbaugh, if it's my decision, I'm sitting him against Houston, but I'm monitoring the situation. And I'm probably choosing him to play against Los Angeles. Because, again, I think you could beat the Texans with Cooper Rush. I think that actually might be a game where your defense can maybe prove to have a pulse. But Los Angeles, with no Lamar Jackson, that's going to be a tough game to win. Then you got the bye week. Rest up after that. And then you got the Bears. So I'm sitting in week 5. By the time he's playing week 6, he's got 2 weeks of full rest. And then again, by the time he's playing week 8, he's got 2 more full weeks of rest. It's a tough decision. I'm thankful it's not in my hands. Appreciate you guys for hanging out with us. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Instagram, at JoeyPeterson8. On both of those platforms, if you're not subscribed yet, change that right now. We get you the quickest coverage you can find right here on this platform. And it's all 100% free. If you're still watching, you like it, okay? So subscribe today.